The stars above Earth looked peaceful. News of peace had spread across every human colony. Celebrations echoed on Mars, Luna, Titan, and even deep space outposts. The war was over. The Galactic Union had signed the final treaty with Earth after 12 long years of conflict. Everyone was tired. Everyone wanted rest. But Captain Elias Miles did not feel at ease. He stood inside the bridge of Horizon 6, a stealth recon ship orbiting Earth. His eyes watched the feed on the main screen images of smiling faces, fireworks in domed cities, children waving flags. The world cheered, but Elias had seen war too closely, and peace. Real peace didn't come this quietly. His first officer, Lieutenant Juno, stepped beside him. "They want us to investigate the Nera 9 signal silence," she said quietly. He asked, "That's a farming colony. Why silence? No distress call? No life signs? Just nothing. As if it disappeared." Elias frowned. "And they send us." "During peacetime," Juno nodded. "Command wants us to be discreet. No one wants to break the mood." He turned back to the screen. "Peace is fragile, Lieutenant. But lies are even worse." 12 hours later, Horizon 6 dropped out of FTL. Near the outer edge of Sector 11, Neron 9. Appeared on the view screen a green planet, surrounded by calm orbit. To calm, no satellites, no docking signals, no noise. "Where are the colony beacons?" Elias asked. "Offline," Juno replied. "No power signatures on the surface either." Elias narrowed his eyes, scanned for structures. "Buildings are still intact," she answered. "But there's no movement, no heat, no life." "Land us," Elias ordered. "Gear up, full recon suits." The landing was smooth. The colony stood like a ghost town. Tall hydro towers swayed in the wind. Fields of crops grew untouched. Lights blinked faintly on some buildings, but doors were wide open. It was like the people just vanished. Elias and his team stepped through the dusty streets, weapons ready. "No damage, no blood," Juno whispered. Elias entered the central command building. He tapped the power panel. The lights flickered to life, but every screen inside showed static. He stepped to the main console and inserted a portable decoder. The system blinked, then unlocked a single file. A voice message. "This is Governor Kell from Nerenline. We are under silent assault. They're not using ships. They're walking through shadows. I don't know how they got past our scanners." They said it was peace. The message ended there. A chilling silence followed. Juno whispered, "They were attacked." During the treaty signing, Elias nodded. "They wanted us looking the other way." Back on Horizon 6, the crew ran scans for any trace of ships or warp signatures. Nothing. No alien energy trails. No debris. But then Ensign Malik shouted, "Captain, something. Small relay signal still active. It's buried near the colony's power core. Looks, alien." Elias stared at the screen. The signal wasn't Earth tech. It was Zarnian, the same species that had pushed hardest for peace. He leaned in. It was a transmission log, encrypted but partially readable. The message was short, but enough to chill the entire bridge. Phase 1 complete. Colony erased. Earth will not detect. Peace holds. Phase 2 begins soon. No name, no signature, just pure cold strategy. Juno turned to Elias. "The treaty was a trick." "No," Elias said. "It was a weapon. They used peace as cover to attack." He opened a private channel to Earth Command. is Captain Elias Miles, Horizon 6 has found evidence of a silent alien operation on Naranine. Peace treaty may be false. We request full military alert. But the response came back delayed and filtered through a political officer. Captain, do not share unverified data. Peace is delicate. Hold position and wait for review. Elias stared at the comm screen. They were being silenced. They didn't want the truth. Cut transmission, he said coldly. Lock down all data. Prepare the ship for FTL. We're not waiting. But sir, Juno asked, where are we going to? The edge, Elias said. If Neran 9 was phase 1, we need to find phase 2 before they make the next move. As the ship prepared to jump, Elias looked out at the dark colony one last time. No wreckage, no bodies, just emptiness. He whispered to himself, they signed peace. Then killed behind the curtain. The people on Earth danced in the light, but Elias now walked in the shadow. And humanity had just been betrayed. Asterisk, the ship Horizon 6 glided through the black space beyond Sector 11. No lights, no traffic, just silence. Captain Elias, Miles sat on the command chair, hands clenched tight. They had discovered something terrifying on Noro N-9. The colony wasn't destroyed by what was erased. No debris, no sound, just a ghost city. And now Elias had the message. A hidden alien transmission admitting everything. Phase 1 complete. Colony erased. Earth will not detect. Peace holds. Phase 2 begins soon. The Galactic Peace Treaty was a lie, but no one wanted to hear the truth. Lieutenant Juno stood beside Elias, holding a data tablet. I decoded more of the transmission, sir, she said. It mentions 4 more targets. Elias looked up sharply. Where? She showed him the map. 4 Earth colonies. Small, quiet places. Farming worlds. Mining posts. The kind of colonies that wouldn't make news if they went silent. There. Spaced far apart, Juno said. But I found a pattern. They're all close to asteroid belts. Or nebula fields. Good spots to hide ships. Elias's eyes narrowed. So they're not just attacking. They're staging something bigger. He stood. Plot a course to Colony Kestrel. It's the next target in the pattern. 6 hours. Later, Horizon 6 approached Kestrel. Everything looked normal. The colony's beacon was online. Surface scans showed movement, life signs, power readings. But Elias didn't trust it. Don't land, he said. Send a micro-drone first. The tiny silver drone shot through the atmosphere. It entered the colony's main street and scanned. The surroundings, what it saw, made everyone on the bridge stop breathing. The colony wasn't alive. The people moved like they were sleepwalking. Their faces were blank. Their actions robotic. Some watered plants that didn't exist. Others swept empty streets. Are they real? Malik whispered. Juno zoomed in. Yes, but their minds. Something's wrong. Then, for one brief second, the drone caught a flicker of a cloaked ship above the colony only, visible in one frame, and then, static dot. The drone signal went dead. Elias stepped forward slowly. They're using tech we've never seen before, he said. Mind control. Illusions, maybe both. Juno nodded. This isn't just an invasion, it's an experiment. Elias stared at the frozen image of the colony. They're testing how to break us from the inside. Back on the bridge, Elias made a decision. Send a data package to Earth. Full report. Juno hesitated, even after how they reacted. Last time, they won't believe us, Elias said. But at least it'll be on record. He looked at the crew. We're on our own now. No backup, no orders, but we know the truth. That means we move before Phase 2 starts. What's our next step? Malik asked. Find the hidden fleet, Elias said, before they move on another colony. For the next 3 days, Horizon 6 jumped between sectors, scanning debris fields, abandoned mining routes, deep gas clouds, sunny where cloaked ships could hide at last. In the dark edge of Sector 14, they found something. A faint trail.ftl, exhausted, but human-readable .les followed it. The trail led to a hollow moon, long considered uninhabited, but the ship's sensors picked up something beneath the surface. Power signatures, hundreds of them. The crew deployed a silent probe into the moon's crust. What it recorded left everyone speechless. A massive alien fleet hidden underground, dark silver ships, razor-winged cruisers, carriers the size of cities, all parked in rows like sleeping beasts, and near the Cora command structure, broadcasting the same signature as the one found near Nero N-9. They were ready, waiting. Elias whispered, "This is Phase 2, not just attacks. Total invasion." Juno turned pale. "We need to warn Earth again, this time with proof." Elias nodded. "Send everything. Video, coordinates, energy scans." But as Juno pressed, "Send an alarm," blared, "Sir. Incoming warp signal." Above us, Malik shouted. On the view screen, a cloaked ship, decloaked, right on top of Horizon 6. Its weapons were charged. It had found them, weapons hot. Juno shouted, "Raise shields." Elias commanded, "Charge our plasma rail." The enemy ship fired first. The ship rocked violently. Sparks flew. Consoles flashed red dot. Malik screamed, shields failing. "Return." "Fire," Elias barked. A blast of blue plasma surged from Horizon 6's front rail, striking the enemy's side. One wing exploded in flame. Elias gritted his teeth. No more hiding. The battle raged for 5 full minutes, longer than most. Small ship encounters. But finally, the enemy retreated, trailing smoke and fire. Elias stood, bleeding from his forehead. Status: minor damage. No critical systems, Juno reported. "We're lucky they sent a scout." "Not lucky," Elias said. "We just showed our hand." Later, Elias stared out the window into the stars. Earth still believed in peace, but the enemy was already moving. Phase 2 had started, and only Horizon 6 stood in the way. He turned to his crew. "This is no longer a mission, it's a warning." He looked at the stars, cold and endless. "And if Earth won't listen," he clenched his fist, "then we make the first move." Captain Elias Miles had no more doubt. The peace treaty was fake. The aliens had used it to disarm Earth while they built a hidden fleet, one powerful enough to strike without warning. Elias had proof, and now he had one mission: stop Phase 2 before it began. Inside Horizon 6, the crew moved quickly. No one spoke much. Every second mattered. Lieutenant Juno stared at her screen. "We've detected enemy signal traffic. Quiet bursts. No full comes. It's likely command orders." Elias leaned over. "Where are they going?" She tapped the screen. A red dot blinked, Toward colony, Vega. Population, Elias asked. 15,000 civilian, mostly families. Elias clenched his jaw. That's their next target. He stood in the center of the bridge. Listen up, he said, voice strong. We've seen what they did to Nera 9. We saw the mind control test at Kestrel. Vega is next. Malik, the weapons officer, swallowed hard. But sir, we're just one ship. Exactly, Elias replied. And they don't expect us. He looked each crew member in the eyes. We'll go in first, hit fast, disrupt. Their plans? We're not here to win a war. We're here to make noise loud enough that Earth can't ignore it anymore. The crew nodded, eyes sharp now. The fear was still there, but buried under purpose. Horizon 6 dropped out of FTL, just outside Vega's orbit. The planet looked peaceful again, too peaceful. They detected no alarms, no weapons, no defenses, but also no communication. Not even a simple greeting. Juno scanned. Something's jamming the planetary comms. Then her eyes widened. Captain enemy ships detected. 2 cruisers in low orbit, cloaked, not broadcasting. Elias didn't hesitate. They're waiting to strike. Let's move before they do. Malik activated the stealth system. We're going in cold and silent. The ship descended like a ghost. As Horizon 6 passed over the colony's capital, Elias stared at the screen. People were walking outside, shopping, talking, smiling. But just like Kestrel, something was off, too synchronized, too calm. No one looked. Up, no kids played. No laughter. Like a world running on code. They've already taken over, Juno whispered. Elias turned. Then we fight. Suddenly, an alert blared. Enemy cruisers had detected them. Horizon 6, this is Commander Vaughn of the Zaan Dominion. You are violating peace, space. Power down or be destroyed. Elias activated the mic. Peace ended when you erased Neuron 9. We're not here to surrender. The enemy responded coldly. Then you die with them. The battle began in orbit. Horizon 6 dodged the first volley, slipping between the clouds. Plasma fire lit the skies as the enemy pursued them over the colony like vultures. Evasive. Pattern Delta. Elias shouted. Malik turned, the ship sharply left, narrowly dodging a plasma blast that would have ripped the ship in two. They're faster than expected. Juno cried. Elias looked at the surface below. Bring us lower. Let's see if they'll follow us into the atmosphere. They won't expect it, Malik said, grinning. The ship dove, engines burning red as it pierced the sky. One enemy cruiser chased them, descending too quickly. That's when Elias gave the order. Now. Juno released a gravity mina small, black sphere that dropped behind the ship and detonated in a silent burst. The enemy cruiser's left wing crumpled. It spun out of control, crashing into the sea. The second cruiser hesitated. There. Regrouping, Juno said. We have 30 seconds. Elias opened a secure comm line. This is Captain Elias Miles. Colony Vega is under covert attack. Civilian minds have been compromised. Peace was a lie. Earth, if you can hear this, wake up. The signal was jammed halfway through. But we got part of it out, Malik said. Good enough, Elias replied. Now let's finish what we started. The ship flew toward the alien command structure disguised in the colony's mountains. Sensors showed an underground bunker, emitting the same dark energy as the hidden base beneath the hollow moon. They launched 2 bunker buster missiles. Direct hits, a huge explosion lit up the mountainside. But then silenced. No counterattack, just quiet. Then a second explosion, massive. From below the mountain, they set a chain reaction. Juno said, "They're erasing the site, just like Neranine," Elias cursed. "They don't want us to collect more evidence." The shockwave struck the ship. Alarms blared. Systems sparked. "We're hit." Malik shouted, "Right thrusters dead." "Steady." "Us," Elias barked. "Get us out." Horizon 6 spun through the sky, smoking, but Juno managed to stabilize it. They limped out of orbit, fire licking the rear hull. Enemy ships pulled back. The damage had been done. Hours later, in deep space, the crew assessed the situation. The ship was damaged, food low, shields unstable. But the signal was partially sent, and Vega was alive. The people were still under alien influence, but the command center was gone. The program broken. The colony would wake up slowly, just like Earth would. Elias stood in his quarters, looking at the broken screen. "Peace was a lie," he said quietly. "But they made one mistake." Juno appeared in the doorway. "Which one?" "They left us alive." She nodded. "We struck first." He turned to her. "No, we struck back." He looked at the stars. "They thought we wouldn't fight again. They thought humanity would stay silent." He picked up a data drive, containing all the battle recordings. "Now they'll hear us." The stars were still, but humanity was not. For the first time since the Galactic Peace Treaty, Earth's Council had gone silent. No broadcasts, no celebrations, no updates, just silence. Captain Elias Miles knew what that meant. The message from Horizon 6 had finally reached them. Inside the damaged bridge, Elias stood beside Juno. Both wore black recon suits, patched and scorched. Behind them, engineers worked day and night to keep the ship from falling apart. "We did our part," Juno said quietly. Elias nodded. "Now it's Earth's turn." Suddenly, a cum light blinked. Malik turned. "Incoming secure transmission." "Earth Command." Everyone on the bridge stopped moving. The screen came to life. Admiral Rourke appeared, face older than last time Elias saw him, eyes heavy, voice sharp. "Captain Miles, you were right. We received your report. And we've confirmed alien activity on multiple colonies, one already gone. Another, Vega. Destabilized but recovering." He paused. "The Council has authorized a new directive. Operation name, Firestorm, effective immediately." Elias stood straighter. "This is no longer a recon mission," Rourke continued. "You are cleared to engage hostile forces. Use whatever you have left. Reinforcements are on the way, but you'll lead the first strike." The screen faded. Juno turned to Elias. "So, we're going to war." Elias shook his head slowly. "No, we're answering one." 12 hours later, Horizon 6 emerged near the Zenth Belt, a dense asteroid field, hiding dozens of cloaked alien ships. They'd traced the energy pattern there, matching it with Neranine and Kestrel. This was the staging ground. Inside one of the larger asteroids was a hollow base, housing alien command and supply centers. Destroying it could delay the full invasion, but Horizon 6 was broken. Low shields, no heavy weapons, damaged engines. "We can't hit that base alone," Malik said. "Not head-on, we won't," Elias replied. "We'll burn it from within." The plan was risky. Elias, Juno, and a small squad would board a stealth shuttle Land inside the asteroid base. Plant a singularity charge and escape before the core collapsed. Malik would stay behind and keep the main ship running, all ready for a rescue. They had one shot as the shuttle entered the asteroid. The silence felt like a scream. Dark metal walls lined the inside of the base. Alien symbols glowed along the halls. The team moved fast, guns raised, eyes sharp. Juno whispered, "No guards." Overconfident, Elias muttered, "They think Earth's too scared to come this far." They reached the command core. It pulsed with black energy, powerful, unstable. Elias knelt beside it and placed the charge. "Timer set," he said. 10 minutes. Then the alarms began. Alien forces poured into the chamber. Black armor, blue skin, no hesitation. "Fall back," Elias shouted. Gunfire lit the corridor. Juno covered the rear, while Elias fired forward, leading them through. The maze of tunnels. The exit was close. But then a blast hit the ceiling, blocking their path. "We're trapped," someone yelled. Juno scanned fast. Vent tunnel left side. They turned, crawling through the narrow duct as alarms howled above. The charge ticked down. 5 minutes, 4.3. They reached the shuttle. Juno hit the launch. Engines roared as they burst from the asteroid and behind them. The rock cracked inside. The singularity charge ignited, sucking the base into its self-folding metal, fire, and void into a silent collapse. The asteroid vanished from orbit. Horizon 6 watched it happen. Malik stared, mouth open. They did. It. He opened a channel. "Captain, status." Juno's voice crackled through. "We're alive, scratched up, but alive." Ilias's voice followed. "The first strike is done. Let the galaxy hear it." Back on Earth, news spread fast. The peace treaty had been broken not by words, but by hidden blades. Now, those blades had been turned against the enemy. The ambush at Vega, the alien mind control programs, the hidden fleet in the Zenth Belt. The people of Earth no longer cheered for peace. They stood for vengeance. Recruitment surged. Retired veterans returned. Engineers worked day and night on new weapons. But they didn't call it war. They called it justice. Elias stood alone in his quarters, looking at the stars. He remembered the first colony. Neron-9 families, children, farmers, gone in silence. No warnings, no defense. "They thought we would never respond," he whispered. He looked at the data logs, at the video of their strike. The moment the asteroid vanished, he copied the footage onto a beacon drone and launched it into neutral space. "Let every species see," he said. "Let them all know." The beacon floated through space, blinking. Its signal reached far-off worlds. Some turned away, others listened. A few began to ask questions, but one thing was now certain. Humanity was no longer sitting quietly. The beacon traveled across systems, carrying only one thing: the truth in a galaxy built on shaky peace. The footage from Horizon 6 hit like a firestorm. Entire star networks received the message images of the mind-controlled colonists at Vega, the silent destruction of Neron, the battle in the asteroid belt, and finally, the strike, the singularity charge folding a hidden enemy base into dust. It was undeniable. The Galactic Peace Treaty was a lie, and humanity had exposed it. On Earth, protests turned to preparation. New fleets were formed. Colonies fortified. Peace advocates vanished from broadcasts. The council, once slow and cautious, now moved like a blade in motion. Captain Elias Miles became a name, whispered with equal parts fear and admiration. Some called him a warmonger, most called him a hero, but in deep space, something darker stirred that the alien species behind the false peace, the Zaan. Dominion could no longer hide behind diplomacy. They sent one message to Earth: you've broken the quiet, now face the storm. And then they vanished again. Inside Horizon 6, Elias stood in the war room. Latest scans? He asked. Lieutenant Juno pointed to a growing cloud of signals energy spikes, ship activity, and warp trails moving fast. Across multiple sectors. They're regrouping, she said. It's not an attack. Not yet. Then what is it? She looked him in the eye. A build-up. Elias turned to Malik. How's the new core? Repaired, boosted, our stealth. Field is back online. We're faster than before. Deadlier too. Elias nodded. Good. Because we're not done. Later that night, Elias stood alone on the observation deck. The stars stretched wide in every direction. Cold, silent. Watching, he remembered the faces of Naren, the colony he never reached in time, and he thought of Vega the people, who had walked like ghosts. Humanity had been used, tricked, but now the galaxy had seen what Earth could do when provoked. An incoming transmission blinked on the console. He opened it. The face that appeared shocked him. A Zaan, but not a soldier, not a commander. A scholar, old grey, tired. Captain Miles, I speak from a place not ruled by war. My name is Keller. I am what your people might call a historian. Elias didn't speak. He only listened. The treaty you believed in was never made for peace. It was a cage, to hold you in place while others fed on your silence. But now you've broken it, and that has changed everything. Elias finally spoke. Why are you telling me this? Keller looked down. Because not all of us wanted the lie. Some of us warned our leaders not to provoke humans. We remembered your history. He leaned forward. You're the species that burns everything when pushed too far. The message ended. Elias walked to the center of the bridge. He looked at his crew, every face marked by war, loss, and purpose. Earth is ready, he said, but the rest of the galaxy is waking up too. Juno raised an eyebrow. You mean there are others like Keller? Maybe, maybe not, Elias replied. But we've lit the match. Now we need to carry the fire. They jumped into war toward a disputed zone where the Zaan were rumored to be gathering their full fleet. But when they arrived, there were no ships, just wreckage. Dozens of vessels, some Zaan, some from other species, destroyed in a perfect circle. What happened? Here, Malik asked. Stunned, Juno ran scans. No weapon signature we recognize. It's like something else hit them. Suddenly, a strange signal blinked on the radar. An ancient one, from deep beyond the galactic rim. A language no one had seen in thousands of years. Elias leaned forward. That's not Zaan-tech. Juno's face went pale. Sir, I don't think this was their war anymore. Elias realized something chilling. The peace treaty was a lie. The war was a distraction, and now, whatever had been hiding beyond the stars had sensed the weakness. The galaxy had turned on itself, and now something else was coming, back on Earth. The final moments of Elias's last broadcast played on repeat. His voice, calm, focused, to every species listening. The lie is over. You can fight beside us, or be the next colony to vanish. Choose quickly. The message spread like wildfire in hidden places. Old enemies reached for weapons again. In forgotten systems, ancient AI cores reactivated, and somewhere in the dark, something enormous moved. Final scene, Elias stands in a launch bay behind him. A new ship is being built, bigger, stronger, named the Trutbear. Juno walks beside him. Think they're ready? No, Elias says. But neither were we. She smiles. Then what now? He looks at the stars and says the final words. We believed in peace. They believed in lies. Now, we make the galaxy remember who we really are.